back, you guys. It is the season of love. And I'm about to get in this kitchen and make one of my husband's favorite things that I make for him. But this time I'm gonna do a little twist. Since it's Valentine's Day, I wanna make it more in theme. He probably won't care, but I do, and I think it's adorable. So please come with me as we make my crawfish pot pie, but with a Valentine's Day twist. I'm also pretty curious. Sorry, I want to put on my apron. I'm kind of curious. Do y'all make favorites for your mate on Valentine's Day? I know a lot of people really like going out to eat on Valentine's Day, which is cute and it's awesome, and I definitely will never turn down whenever he likes to treat. But you know, we are definitely a house that appreciates home cooked meals over here. Always. That's always first. But if I've been in the kitchen cooking too much, then those are the times when I just need you to take me out for dinner. Without further ado, y'all, let's go get in this kitchen and make this crawfish pot pie. Cause your girl's got mouths to feed. Let's go. Now that I've set the mood, I got my roses out, it's time to get this Valentine's Day dinner going. Y'all, I want to make a cheesy pie crust to go with my crawfish pot pie. Usually whenever I make the crawfish pot pie for him, I do these cheesy drop biscuits on top, and it is divine. So I needed to find a way to keep this incorporated while yet still trying to make this aesthetically pleasing, because y'all, let's be honest. Pot pie is not cute. There's nothing really cute about it. I guess there's different things you could do with the crust to make it cute, but when I do it with these biscuits on top, it's definitely giving very comfort food. Like it doesn't look like something you would see at a restaurant. But I have to make this cute because it's Valentine's Day. The ingredients for my pie crust are as follows. I use about 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Always remember, you need a little bit more for dusting. I have about a tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, about a stick and a half of some very cold butter. Y'all, I just put my butter in the freezer usually while I'm prepping everything else, and then whenever I'm ready to put it into my food processor, I'll go grab it. So yeah, you need about a stick and a half of that very cold butter. Dice that into pieces, and then I'm gonna use about 6 ounces of my sharp cheddar cheese. Y'all, again, I've actually never put cheese into my pie crust before, but I've heard of it. I've heard people do it before, so you know, I believe it's gonna work out. I have faith in my dishes, and y'all, I don't know about you, but I do pray every time I cook, because I will not invest all of this time and effort without talking to the Lord first. I believe that I have the skill, but I need for it to never be over salted, over cheesed, over buttered, over nothing, over seasoned, overly hot. We can't do any of those things. So yes, I do pray before I cook, always. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going to use about 6 ounces of this 8 block of cheese. You guys, I absolutely adore Organic Valley's cheeses. That's enough of that. Anyway, this is not a sponsored video. I'm going to dice this up to add to my flour and dry things mixture. And you know, the key to me with a pie crust is to keep it cold and keep it crumbly. And that is what, like in the process before I add my ice cold water. That's why I don't use my hands for this part. Like I don't grate the cheese. I'm just gonna put it in here and let this blender, or not blender, you guys, my food processor do the majority of the hard work for me. And I'm going to eat a little piece of cheese in the meantime too, because it's that good. Anyway, so add that in. I do add it in kind of in sections. Sporadically spread around the flour so that I can get a nice even mix. And you also don't want to overmix, you guys. It does it pretty fast. I don't know what kind of food processor you have, but this Ninja does the work. Like, I hit it for like a second or two, maybe three. I'll give it like 3 seconds, and it's blended. So then I'll take my butter sticks, and I'll add those to this mixture as well and do the same process. So I'll blend it process it for about 5 seconds, just to make sure that butter gets all nice and crumbly. And then after that, you'll see I'm gonna add a little bit of water, but then I'm gonna roll out all of my pebbles onto the countertop and incorporate the ice water little bits at a time. You really want your mixture to be, what's the word? I can never describe dough properly. You want it to stick, but you don't want it to be wet, if that makes sense. If it's wet, either you overmixed it or your butter got warm. Yeah. Anyway, so you're gonna see here, I'm gonna just roll it out into the counter. You see how crumbly it is? It's like sand. I'm gonna take my sand, kind of get it together a little bit, not too much. Make a little well in the center and add some more of my ice cold water. You're really only using about a half a cup of that ice cold water, okay? So I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard for me to explain to others how to work dough. You really just want to keep gathering it. Don't add too much water to it. You just gotta kind of feel the consistency. But all in all, it's simple, if that makes sense. Anyway, once everything's come together and it's sticking together on its own, like some nice little Play-Doh, I split it in half, make 2 very even discs, flatten it out a little bit, because once I'm finished with the refrigeration process of letting it sit and get chilled, you're gonna just roll that out from there. So, make it into a nice disc like you see here. And I'm gonna set it in the fridge for about an hour. So while my dough is resting in the fridge, I'm gonna go ahead and get my filling ready for my pot pie. Now, I have a confession. First of all, you'll see all the ingredients listed to the side now. So something happened during this recording process. You will see everything. If I'm not mistaken, except for the crawfish. So my camera was definitely dying, and I kept trying to plug it in and get it reset again. And I actually have 2 cameras rolling here, but the other one didn't keep any of the footage. You guys, I'm looking like a rookie over here. It looks really sad, but sometimes when I'm excited about cooking something special, that is what I get caught up in. So you won't see my crawfish whenever they go in the pot, and I'm hoping that you see everything else. Also, I did not list the ingredients that I used as far as seasonings go, just the rest of the things, because if I know my people like I know my people, you're going to season according to how you like to season. But you will see all the seasonings that I've used on the video clip coming up. Now, first things first, I want to grab my sausage, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to my pan, and I'm going to brown the sausage on both sides. And after that is done browning, I do not want to burn my sausage. I'm going to remove them and set them to the side, and I'll cook down the rest of the veggies. Okay, so remember that half stick of butter? We're going to add that to the potatoes, the carrots, the celery, and the onion and let that simmer down and cook a little bit. You guys, in this meantime, I add all my seasonings. These are the things. I told you I'd show them to you on the video, but I did not list them on the screen. Those are all the things that I add. I do kind of let those potatoes cook down a little bit. And before I add that veggie no chicken broth, I did put my 1/4 of cup of all-purpose flour just so you know it can thicken up a little bit. And then I went ahead and went in with my stock. You let that simmer just a little while. You just want all the veggies to soften. Just a little bit, but I also don't like to overcook it because it's gonna cook some more. Yes, I added a bay leaf because that's me. It's gonna cook some more once it goes into the oven. Now, once everything's simmered for a while, I add my sausage back. My peas can go in at this point, as well as some heavy whipping cream. Turn that heat off because it's good to go. And here's where we need to stop for just a second. I gotta tell you something while I'm unraveling this dough. Y'all, my crawfish I season with Old Bay seasoning. I do this after I've rinsed the crawfish off, and then I simply add the crawfish to the hot mixture while it's cooling off. Because before I add that mixture to my dough, I do not like for it to be hot. And you don't want it to be hot because it will break through the dough. It's best to go ahead and add it once it's cooled off or cold, and it'll heat back up again once you put it in the oven. So to get my love letter envelopes, if you were paying attention, I rolled my dough all the way out. And then at this point, I cut off all the edges so that I can make 2 perfect, almost perfect rectangles. And you need that excess dough that I'm placing to the side because that is what I'm going to use to cut out my little hearts to go into my envelope. So I don't know how to explain this either. So you know how back in the day when you were little and used to do those little pocket letters that you would send to people in class? I feel like this is the same process. So if you fold down the corners at the top, it'll make a point like an envelope. So that'll be the top of your envelope. And then around the edges, I kind of fold it in only so it's easier for me to put the filling in and keep it intact. Does that make sense? You'll see everything except for the part where I folded up because, again, we had camera issues. But you'll understand. You'll get the gist of it. You also won't see me cut the little heart out. But I did it. I did it with that little excess dough that you see up top. So here are the envelope instructions that you do not want to miss. You're going to fold those top corners and then attempt to make them somewhat pointy so that it bakes and still looks pointy. You're going to take the sides of your envelope, not the bottom, I don't know why I touched that. You're going to take the sides of your envelope and fold it in so that you can make sure it stays as a pocket whenever you crease it later. You're going to add the filling right underneath the point. Okay, only in that section. Leave the bottom area free so that you can flip it over the top of your filling. Then you're going to flip the fold over to close your envelope. I'm telling you this slow because you will not see it. But you're going to flip the fold over to close the envelope, and then you will seal it with your little heart piece. After you've sealed it, you'll take your egg wash and brush it over the top of your love letters, okay? You'll take those love letters and place it in the oven for about 25 minutes at about 365 degrees. Got it? I hope that that was super clear because I wish I had that piece of footage. All I have is this part, but you can see where I've placed the filling. All you have to do is close your letters from the bottom to underneath the point, flip the point over the bottom, and then seal it on the sides with the fork. Okay? Brush it with your egg wash, bake for 25 minutes. Now that we've baked it, we're gonna pull them out. Y'all look, they're so cute. I definitely gave him the cuter one with the cuter heart. I made a nice little springy salad. Don't ask why. I like strawberries, and he likes a lot of dressing. So you're gonna see me over pour this vinaigrette. But this blush wine vinaigrette, y'all. First of all, it's kind of sparkly. That might have been the reason why I bought it to begin with, but it's so good. I have other things that I need to try with this, but yeah, this is it. Isn't that adorable? It's like a glorified Hot Pocket, but it's, not. And you know all the ingredients that went inside. Outside of that, he loved it even without the biscuit. So there's that. And y'all, please tell me in the comments, do you cook for your man for Valentine's Day? And we're not talking about 314, for those of you that know what I'm talking about. For Valentine's Day, a lot of people say that Valentine's Day is more of like a holiday for the girls, and that's why we keep seeing all this Galentine type things. But I don't think it's just for us. I love making him a special meal on Valentine's Day. And also, y'all, the restaurants on Valentine's Day, it's like you can go to the best restaurant, your favorite restaurant. Valentine's Day will ruin your view of the restaurant. At least it does for me. Anyway, come on.